morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Rogers.
And I'm Tommy Kane. We begin this morning with a major announcement for the class of 2025. This year's commencement speaker is a TV legend.
Siena just announced this week that Al Roker will be speaking at our graduation in May, and our very own Tommy Kane was lucky enough to take part in the announcement. For those who haven't seen it yet, let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of SCTV News. I'm Vanessa Granado.
And I'm Tommy Kane. Let's get right to the weather. It has been a bitterly cold start to 2025, so when can we expect spring temperatures to break through?
For a look at the extended forecast, let's check in with America's favorite weather anchor and TV personality, Al Roker, who joins us from the Today Show studios in New York City. Hey, Al.
Hey, Vanessa. So winter's not going anywhere just quite yet. Temperatures going to remain a little frosty in Loudonville for the coming weeks. But students, make sure you bundle up when you're walking from the townhouses down to class. But on the bright side, the frigid days are numbered. Warmer air will be sweeping its way through the quad by the time Siena Fest rolls around. So, Saints, that's what you can expect in your neck of the woods.
Thanks, Al. Moving on, we have some breaking news to share. We didn't invite Al onto the show just for a check of the weather. We've actually got a surprise for him and for all of you as well. For the big reveal, we're joined by the Emmy Award-winning executive producer of the Today Show, Tom Mazzarelli, Siena class of 1993. Hi, Tom.
All right, thanks, Tommy. Al, thanks for being such a good sport. Really appreciate it. There's another reason we asked you to stick around. Announcing now, you've been named Siena's 2025 honorary degree recipient.
Whoa.
And the commencement speaker.
Woo-hoo!
Pretty cool, right?
I love that.
You will be awarded a Doctor of Humane Letters, Dr. Roker.
Ooh.
It sounds official, right?
What about lunch?
And dinner.
Oh, even better. I am thrilled.
It is the highest honor Siena can bestow, so congratulations,
I
buddy.
cannot wait, and I cannot wait to see all of you, Siena College, coming up.
I can't think of anybody more deserving. Great broadcaster, great guy, all around gem of a person.
Well, I am forecasting we are going to have a great time in May.
Congrats to the class of 2025, and congratulations to you too.
Thank you, dude.
All right, back to the studio in Siena.
Thanks, Tom and Al. The undergraduate commencement ceremony will be Sunday, May 18th at the MVP Arena, with Mr. Al Roker delivering the commencement address.
As members of the graduating class, I know it'll be a day that you and I will never forget. And as aspiring journalists, it's going to be a privilege to hear from a news and television legend.
I can't wait, but right now we're out of time. Thanks for tuning into this special SCTV News Report. It's a great day to be a Saint.
That was Vanessa Granado and our very own Tommy Kane making this special announcement. So, Tommy, how did all of this come together?
So it started out basically where Kelly sent me and Vanessa an email sort of just like, hey, we have like a top secret project and we think you guys would be good to work on it. And when we heard about it, we immediately both were like, yes, let's do this. And then we just had to go through the hard part, which was just keeping it really quiet and not telling anyone about it.
How did it feel being selected and taking part in this amazing announcement?
It was really cool to like have that be like something that I could be a part of, especially because I've seen it now a million times and it got a lot of recognition and support. And it just felt really cool, and I thought it showed like a good light to what a lot of the stuff we do here that doesn't get shown or seen a lot by as many people. So I thought it was really cool to like have the studio really be incorporated and be shown off to a lot of Siena students.
Cool. And so what was it like working on this project? That must be really cool.
I'd say it was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot longer of like something that would take a lot more time to get done. But we really were able to get through it pretty quick. Took about like 35, 40 minutes, I'd say. And we did have to re-record like everything. But in the end, I'm really happy with the result. And it was a blast to work on.
Thank you so much, Tommy, and I know this is certainly going to be a day to remember.
Absolutely.
Right now, students are expressing concern after several cars were broken into Siena's off-campus living facility.
Our own Ethan Smith has been tracking this story since the news broke. He's in downtown Troy right now. Ethan, what else can you tell us about this situation?
Katie, Tommy, thank you. We are at the Troy police station where police are telling us that over the weekend there was a string of break-ins at the college suites on Morrison Avenue. And while no reports were filed by residents, it was the building security that saw suspicious activity, prompting them to make a call. Recently, students living at the college suites have been on high alert. The reason? a string of break-ins directed towards cars belonging to the residents living there.
There's definitely this hyper awareness of this thing that's happened, because even like me and my friend, we were leaving the apartments and we heard car alarms going off, and usually in the past we would have just assumed like, oh, someone's car, but we literally thought like a car was getting broken into.
Police tell us they met with building security on February 21st to report the theft. The suites located on 100 Morrison Avenue house students from colleges such as Siena and Hudson Valley right down the road.
They had a situation where an unknown person was going through the parking lot and entering into vehicles and stealing items. One of our students ended up being hit. She left her car unlocked, and the person rummaged through her property.
As the police do their best work to inform students living at the suites, Siena's public safety has also been hard at work trying to ensure a safer situation for the students.
Public safety put out an email, some messaging saying that this had occurred, and gave some tips as to what they could do to prevent further car break-ins.
The advice both public safety and the police provided include ensuring your vehicle is locked up while unattended, not leaving valuables in plain view, and parking in a well-lit area or near surveillance cameras. These tips seem to be sticking with the Siena community as well.
Like I get to my apartment and I'm like, I have to make sure to lock it, because even if there isn't anything valuable worth stealing, it's the damage that is really gonna like affect me.
The Troy police stress if residents of the suites observe suspicious activity to file a report, which can be done in person, online at troypd.org, or by calling 518-270-4411. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Ethan Smith.
This Wednesday, Siena was giving out free t-shirts outside the SSU.
The Student Activity and Leadership Development Department put on another successful t-shirt giveaway. The chicken nugget themed t-shirts were a big hit as students were lined up on the SSU steps to grab some free merchandise. Siena had multiple speakers come in on Monday and Wednesday to talk about careers in the forensic fields.
Across the two-day event that was being held, the speakers touched on topics like firearms, DNA toxicology, fingerprints, and some more. Anyone who wanted to was able to attend and get a feel for what working in forensics would be like. The Commuter Student Association held their monthly lunch special this past Wednesday.
On the first Wednesday of every month, the Commuter Student Association holds a lunch for all students to highlight those that live off campus. CSA offered grilled cheese, pesto pasta, hot cocoa, and more to those who attended. If you missed out, be sure to catch the lunch next month. Tuesday night in Noble Hall, the Muslim Student Association put on a Ramadan preparation event.
The event offered activities such as bracelet making and painting. Preparation for Ramadan is important to the practice and making the most of the holy month. It is a way of attaining blessings from the very beginning until the end. Ramadan is an important practice for self-discipline, spiritual growth, and charity. The first day of Ramadan is today and will last until March 30th. Wednesday night, Siena welcomed Active Mind speaker David Romano.
Romano was diagnosed with depression, but since getting the help he needs and entering recovery, he's proud to share his story. David Romano came to Siena with the message to the students, especially men, that mental health is not a weakness and to not be afraid to ask for help. Siena has resources on campus for students struggling with mental health. Or if you just need someone to talk to, the on-campus counseling center is in Foy Hall. What if your next classroom was in Italy, New Zealand, or even Australia? Well, this past Monday in the SSU from 12 to 2 p.m., Siena hosted a study abroad day.
Our Tiana Xavier takes us inside the event to see how study abroad can open the doors to the world for saints.
If you could study abroad anywhere in the world, where would you go? Paris, Tokyo, ooh, maybe Japan. For me, I decided to study abroad in Greece for a full semester, and it was one of the best experiences of my life that shaped me personally and professionally. Today, I'm in the SSU at Siena College, where the Study Abroad department is putting on their very own Study Abroad Day event, giving these students an opportunity to explore global opportunities and to learn how to take your education beyond the classroom. Study Abroad Day is a national initiative that raises awareness about international education and its lasting impact. Siena College offers a variety of programs that allow students to live and study in different countries while earning credits towards their degree.
Study Abroad Day is a national event that started probably about 5 or 6 years ago now, I believe, by the study abroad community to help promote study abroad to undergraduates and let you know about this opportunity and how it's accessible.
With dozens of destinations to choose from, Siena students can experience new cultures, make lifelong connections, and build valuable career skills. At Study Abroad Day, they explored programs, grabbed merch, entered raffles, and took home giveaways, all while learning how study abroad can shape their future.
So study abroad really helps students prepare for their future careers just by personal growth and development alone, but you also can do internships abroad. So we have a great program in London where students can actually intern with a London company. For example, we've had students intern with marketing firms. We also have had students intern with the Innocence Project in London. So you can gain that professional edge. But honestly, study abroad looks great on a resume for any employer, especially that has a global presence, because it shows that you have a global experience to bring to the workforce.
For many students, studying abroad is a transformative experience. Whether it's learning a new language, adjusting to a cultural difference, or navigating a foreign country, students say they return with a broader outlook on life.
While I was in Namibia, I did a bunch of stuff that I probably wouldn't even think of doing here. I went skydiving over the desert there. I traveled to other countries while I had a spring break. I went to Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. I seen one of the world wonders at Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. And I just feel like it was just so freeing that the best part was just having that sense of freeness. And like once you break the barriers of like, oh, I'm traveling to another country, once you're there, everything kind of falls in place and it's just so easy to get around.
For some students, studying abroad leaves such a lasting impact that they want to help others have the same experience. That's why Liv Vallow joined the Study Abroad team to share her journey and encourage more Siena students to take advantage of these life-changing opportunities.
I really love doing graphic design, and while I was studying abroad in Madrid, I wound up taking a lot of classes in graphic design, and I got to see a whole bunch of cool things that they got to do over there in Europe. So when I came back and Abby had the position open, I said, I think I'm a good fit for this, especially since I just took classes abroad in it. I loved being able to share my experience, partner with the Study Abroad program, and be able to bring everyone's like travels and experiences to life on the Instagram and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I decided to do it.
So whether you want to take a semester in Italy, do an internship in London, or even volunteering in Peru, Study Abroad gives each student a unique experience to jump outside of your comfort zone and live an amazing global experience. Reporting from the SSU, I'm Tiana Xavier for SCTV.
Are you looking for a resume booster over the summer months? Look no further than Siena's HEOP program. The Higher Education Opportunity Program is looking for peer counselors and a head counselor for this upcoming summer.
HEOP is an intensive 5-week summer program where students will take classes, do workshops, attend seminars, and includes weekend activities. If you are interested, the deadline for applying is today at 4 p.m. This job listing can be found on Handshake, and if you have any questions, reach out to the email mmanchester@siena.edu. Siena College prides itself on making sure students get the opportunity to have a study abroad experience.
One class made the journey 4,000 miles to Costa Rica. Joe Lemery gives us a look at what Dr. Adam Flieger has planned for his spring break with his students.
Spring break at Siena College is just days away. Students in Dr. Adam Flieger's Management 290 course will have the opportunity to go abroad all the way in Costa Rica.
Well, we're super excited. We finally have everything planned after about 12, 13 months of putting everything together. Our focus is going to be looking at sustainability and ecotourism through sport, specifically adventure sports. So we're going to meet with some famous soccer clubs there, some Costa Rican federations, the track and field and rugby. But then we're going to go experience what Costa Rica has to offer. So do zip lining, canyoning, waterfalls, surfing, and so on. So really dive into all the sport offerings in Costa Rica.
Dr. Flieger and Dr. Laura Paul have been planning this trip for around a year now.
So it's a long process, and actually I always feel like once we get to departure day, most of the heavy lifting is done, right? So at this point we're just going and kind of enjoy the class and the experience, but it takes somewhere between 8 and 12 months of planning, working with the providers, recruiting students, setting forth the class and the material and so on. So there's a lot of checkpoints, but this will be my 12th trip that I've led, and so at this point in time, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of the timing and what goes into planning.
Dr. Flieger says he's hopeful students will take a lot away from this trip.
My big thing is, and this is with any study abroad experience, is I want full immersion, right? So when you're there, instead of going and trying to eat something or go listen to music that you're familiar with, get out of your comfort zone, right? Really, really dive in. Costa Rica is a global leader in sustainability and ecotourism. So while we're there, just kind of soaking all of that in and really learning from how they've become a global leader in that space.
The course is part of Dr. Flieger's sport management program. The trip will focus on learning more about sustainability and ecotourism in Costa Rica. For SCTV's Morning Brew, I'm Joe Lemery.
In preparation for spring break and students traveling, Siena is offering a helping hand with a specialized shuttle route.
The normal route for the shuttle system will be put on hold Friday. Instead, the shuttle will be stopping at the Rensselaer train station, the Albany International Airport, and the Albany bus terminal. For all of you traveling, and if you are traveling for spring break, travel safe and make sure to be back for classes Monday. Throughout the year, Best Buddies comes to Siena and gives the buddies the chance to connect with students and brighten their days.
With more on the recent event, here is the Morning Brew's Amber Fisher.
A day of creativity and friendship took center stage at the Norm this week as students gathered to paint tote bags. Hosted by the Siena chapter of Best Buddies, students brought their artistic visions to life. Best Buddies is a nonprofit organization that connects people with developmental and intellectual disabilities with other students. I spoke to some of the event attendees who talked about how important an inclusive community is to them.
I think it's just really important to make sure that we're giving all of our students opportunities to socially interact with others and make friends. And it also just means a lot to me to make new friends wherever I can, other than in school.
It's special and it's sweet, and I like being with my friends. I like being with my best buddy, Matt.
Events like these allow every student a chance to express themselves and encourage them to create social connections. It's a great reminder that our campus community is incredibly diverse, and that it is important to recognize and accommodate each other's differences. Best Buddies regularly host inclusive activities like this, and continues to create spaces where friendships can flourish. The combination of creativity and connections made for a great day for everyone involved.
Siena College is the best college I would love to see because I mean, kind of like beautiful, kind of like home to me, and nice people around here in this campus. That's what I like.
Best Buddies continues to create meaningful moments and strives to continue to make Siena a more inclusive and welcoming place for everyone. The next event that Best Buddies is hosting will be bowling. Reporting with the Morning Brew, I'm Amber Fisher.
Coming up, Siena College's first ever SCTV champion speaks on his wild path to victory.
Plus, one of Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers has filed a motion to quit the case.
And still to come, Tommy and I head over to Masry to cook with AVI. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It was a 6-hour marathon on Monday night right here in the SCTV studio. The TV Studio Club hosted the first ever SCTV tournament live from Foy Hall, hosting 24 competitors, all competing for the coveted Wii golf green jacket. An unlikely hero emerged from the event. Nearly 90 minutes after the event kicked off, a late replacement stepped in and took the Wii golf course by storm. Joining us this morning is the first ever SCTV champion, Ian Downer. Ian, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
As I said, you were a late replacement in this tournament. What were you doing when you got that call?
I was at Casey's eating a burger. I was just listening, watching TikToks, and my friend Diego called me. He's like, Ian, you want to join this Wii golf tournament? And I'm like, why not? I mean, I have nothing better to do tonight. I finished all my homework earlier today, so I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to play.
And what was sort of your background with Wii? Did you grow up playing a lot of Wii, or did you sort of stumble into this greatness?
Okay, so it was kind of funny because I used to play a lot when I was younger, when I was like 6 or 7. I used to go to my uncle's house a lot in Connecticut, and he would just beat me so bad at golf. And I think that's why I'm like kind of all right now. I mean, I'm not that good, but like I think he really put some step into me.
Yeah. And your first matchup in the tournament was actually your toughest. You were 4 over after the first 3 holes, and you went into a playoff where you got the win. Then you set a course record at 2 under on intermediate against myself, and then set another course record breaking even on expert. The tournament seemed to get easier for you as it went on. Do you think that was the case?
I think I just wasn't taking it seriously at the beginning, to be honest. I was kind of having fun. I remember, I think it was the 3rd hole in, I just kind of, I went out of bounds on one of the plays, and I was like, this is just really funny at this point. I'll see where it goes, to be honest. I wasn't sure if I wanted to win or not yet, so I was kind of just like weighing it out.
And then let's talk about that championship game. Some say your opponent did not deserve to be there because he won via forfeit in the late stages of the bracket. What were your emotions what emotions were you feeling during those 9 championship holes that started at 1:45 a.m.?
You know, to be honest, I didn't see any of the games previous on his side, so I was kind of going in with the mentality that like this is a really strong opponent, and he really was. The first like 4 or 5 holes, we were going even on every single one, so it was kind of like, it was scary to be honest, until I got to like the 6th or 7th where I got the eagle in, so I thought he was like a really strong opponent.
Now let's talk about the chip heard around the world. It was 2 a.m. We hadn't seen a lot of great shots on the night, but you sunk one from 104 yards away for eagle on the 7th championship hole. Let's take a look at that shot right now.
It's the 2nd stroke here. No shenanigans from Downer. He possibly could have gained a big advantage here in the finals. Line drive off the bunker's able to roll off. That might go into the hole. Oh my goodness!
What a shot! And our first eagle of the night. Oh, in the final God. Good night, Hicks.
Oh my
Update the graphic.
God.
Now, Ian, how did you make that shot? What was the thought process behind the driver there from being 107 yards out?
So it's kind of interesting. So on the first hit, me and him both had, we had like identical hits. So we were like right next to each other on the second hit. And it didn't show in the clip before, but he hit it into the tree using a wedger. And I was like, if I do the same exact thing, it's going nowhere. So I looked through all of my drivers. And I was like, I'm gonna use a driver here because it goes a little bit lower. It goes on the ground. It'll like skim across. I was like, this might work. It might not work. I might go past the hole, but I think it'll do a lot better than him just hitting a tree. So I did that, and I was like, I'm gonna go really low on it. I don't want to go like too high. And it worked out really well because the sand pot in front of it just saved the whole thing because it bounced in and it kind of slowed down the momentum just like perfectly enough for it to just slide straight into the hole. So I got really lucky with that one.
Now, Chris 12 putted on that same hole. Did you know that the game was over after that at that point?
I didn't want to be certain, so I still played to like my best capacity the whole entire time through because I've sold games like that before where it's like I'm up 12, people are hyping me up, and it's just like it gets to my head. So I tried to stay like through the whole entire time, like make sure I get every like best on every hole, just because, you know, because like you never know what happens. But yeah, I was a little bit more certain at that point.
Definitely, especially after what we saw with Dan Layton. You finished 3 under after the 9th hole, destroying your opponent by double digits. Who can you credit your success to on Monday night?
I'd say like my whole family, to be honest. My brother, my dad, my uncle, whoever played Wii golf with me, my friends. I remember we played a lot last year too. Not Wii golf in particular, but we played Wii sports a lot. So I got a little hang of it beforehand. And then coming into this tournament, I was really confident after the first round that I think I'd win the whole thing.
And lastly, the most important question of this morning is, will you be joining us for the next edition of SCTV?
Of course, man. I got to at this point. I got to see my new competition.
Love to hear it. Ian, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your time with us. It was a pleasure sitting down with you.
Thank you.
On the way, internet icon Josh Block done drinking? Katie Rogers has the latest on the TikTok star who was just hospitalized. Plus, looking to get more involved on campus? One club is taking the time to appreciate Italian heritage. Joe Lemery takes us there in this week's edition of Join the Club.
In entertainment news this week, another breakthrough in the Sean Diddy Combs case, as his lawyer has filed a motion to quit the case before the trial this spring. Anthony Ricco filed a motion in the New York federal court on Friday. Ricco, who previously represented Osama bin Laden in the 2001 case, the United States versus Osama bin Laden, said, quote, "Under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs," end quote. A judge will still need to grant Ricco's motion to leave the case, and Combs will still have 5 other attorneys defending him if Ricco leaves. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution-related charges. Disheartening news in the music world today, as music icon Roberta Flack has passed away at the age of 88. Known for ballads like 1973's Killing Me Softly with his song, Flack bent music to her will, combining classical art with jazz and rhythm and blues. Flack recorded more than 20 albums through her 5-decade career and won 4 Grammys as well. Flack was diagnosed with ALS in 2022, forcing her to retire from performing. A New York man is suing Kim Kardashian for a social media post she made a year ago. The reality TV star posted about convicted murderer Ivan Cantu 2 days before he was executed in Texas. She was asking her followers to sign a petition to save his life. The problem is, she used a picture of a different man who lives in New York but has the same name. Kardashian's lawyer admits what happened and says his client removed the photo as soon as she realized her error. Cantu filed a lawsuit Thursday claiming libel, slander, and emotional distress. Kardashian's lawyers say they are hoping to settle the case, but they defend her in court if they have to. Some well-known performers will hit the stage Sunday during the 97th Academy Awards in Los Angeles. The stars of Wicked, Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana Grande are set to sing, along with Doja Cat, Lisa of Blackpink, Queen Latifah, and Ray. This year, the Oscars will not feature performances by the nominees for Best Songs, as the show's producers have scrapped the idea in hopes of performances intended to celebrate the filmmaking community and some of its legends. With more news on the silver screen and in the studio, David Daniel takes us to the Hollywood Minute.
You're really rolling the dice.
Spider-Man fans will have to wait just a bit longer to see the web slinger back on the big screen. Sony has moved the release of the 4th Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland back 1 week to July 31st, 2026. Rihanna fans have been waiting for her next album for almost a decade. The singer, actress, and fashion mogul spoke with Harper's Bazaar about her long-awaited follow-up to 2016's Anti, saying she just cracked the code on what I really want to do for my next body of work. Rihanna noted the long delay means it has to matter. I have to show them the worth in the wait. I cannot put up with anything mediocre.
Those struggles that were in the 60s, they're still today.
If we unify, we would create a domino effect for peace.
We're not just here for the moment, we're here for a movement.
Eyes on the Prize 3, We Who Believe in Freedom Cannot Rest, 1977 to 2015, continues the groundbreaking series on people and communities working for racial justice and equity. The 6-part anthology series debuts Tuesday on HBO and Max. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
TikTok star and self-proclaimed king of New York, World of T-Shirts, aka Joshua Block, has been diagnosed with pancreatitis. This diagnosis comes after the Friday night crash out at the American Dream Mall, where he was detained by police and taken to a Hackensack hospital. At the hospital, Block threatened to sue, and as a result, he was discharged. He returned to the American Dream Mall to enjoy a Mr. Beast burger, but felt considerable pain in his left side. Block ended up going back to the hospital in Hackensack, where he received the diagnosis and was held for 2 days.
When we come back, think you know everything about Italian culture? Forget about it. Joe Lemery has this week's edition of Join the Club. Plus, Tommy and I go to AVI to cook with some of Siena's chefs. Stick with us. Good morning, and today we're going to be talking with some people at API, and if you guys want to take us through what you guys do and your names.
My name is Jude Jerome. I'm the campus executive chef here at AVI at Siena.
My name is Daniel Secor. I'm the Director of Operations for AVI at Siena College.
Amanda Greco. I'm the Resident Director at Siena.
And Amanda, can you explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing here today?
I can, to the best of my ability. Chef, jump in if you need to. He's going to make a black bean and corn salsa, but what he's going to explain is the versatility of the dish and that it can be a salad. He's going to add a protein. You can have it on the side. You could do it over the top if it was hot. Please elaborate. You are the professional.
So here at AVI, everything that we use is fresh. All of our produce is fresh. Nothing is pre-chopped. Everything is cut. Everything that our student uses is cut our sauce is made from scratch. What I'm making today is actually we're making a corn, black bean and corn salsa. It actually can be used. We can make it as a salad. I'm gonna add some chicken to it as an extra protein. Actually, you can turn it into a soup if you want to. It's a very versatile dish that anybody can do. It's not as complicated as it looks. It's one of those things that's one of the easiest things to do, and it's comforting. It goes with a lot of different options. It can be vegan or vegetarian, so on and so forth.
Great.
And then at AVI, while you guys might not be directly behind the counter cooking, what are some of the day-to-day operations looking like for you two as resident director and director of operations?
Day to day is making sure everybody shows up is number one, and that everything is operating efficiently. And then we come in and make sure Dan is the director of operations, so obviously he's more with the computers and the staff and the kitchen and equipment, and that's the first thing.
And for me, one of the primary functions on campus is safety. So we want to make sure that all the food that we cook, while it is fresh and is prepared very well, that it is safe to eat for all the students. And just kind of going through and doing our routine safety checks, making sure that all the equipment's working well, everything's functioning appropriately, staff are doing the right thing, that we're wearing our hairnets, we're doing everything that we can do from a safety standpoint, just to make sure that we are serving the student body safe and good fresh food.
So what I did today, just for TV purposes, I made my meat supply in advance. I chopped and diced everything before, so make it go a little faster. But all those things that are done was done by me. But somebody can do it. It doesn't have to be a perfect dice. It doesn't have to be a perfect cut. As long as you put what you want in it and how you enjoy making your food. So what we're doing today is a black bean corn salsa. So I'm going to add to it first the black beans. Then I'm going to add the corns to it. So I'm going to add some red onions. But somebody like white onions, you can add white onions. You want like medallion onions, you can add medallions, whatever. The thing about cooking is versatile. We can do whatever we want. I say baking is different. Baking is it's more like chemistry. But when it comes to cooking, whatever you want to do, you want to make it taste good, go ahead and do it. There's no particular rules to it. So you got some tomatoes, some diced peppers, a little bit of lime juice. That goes good with the black beans. Some jalapenos. I like it. We make it a little spicy. We make it a little spicy to make sure that works. A little cumin, so because it's a southwestern dish, go along with it. A little fresh cilantro chopped up. So now I'm going to start mixing. Make sure everything is mixed thoroughly.
So you said this is a southwestern dish. You guys make all sorts of things from, you guys have your famous quesadillas that everyone knows and loves. I lived off of those for a semester. What would you say is the importance of changing things up, making sure you're getting a bunch of versatility and really embracing different ethnic and any sort of culture that you can in your food?
So one of the things that we pride ourselves on, everything we do is very authentic to what, if we call it something, it's usually what it is. And I encourage all the students to try it. You don't know you don't like it if you didn't try it. So it's an opportunity when you walk into a dining hall where there's so many different stations, you can try whatever's there. Then to see what we offer, because we all get together and when we make menu writing, so me and all the chefs will get together and write the menu and see how we hit different demographics in different part of the country, different part of the world, which is very important to us. Make sure everybody feels welcome. Because the best thing is when you meet somebody, is like when you're sharing a meal with them. So turn around and be able to say, oh, this is from my country, or this is from this place, or this is from where I'm from. Makes a big difference to people to be related or have a taste of home, And when we do our menus, not only the chef do it, Amanda and then we sit down and we look over them and we go back and forth. Say, this one is good. This one is, I don't think about this one. Sometimes there's some convincing to do, but it works. At the end of the day, and the feedback we get from the students, the number one thing is we listen to the students. Whatever is being said, nothing is too little, nothing is too crazy. Just ask for it, and if we can do it, we do it. And that's one thing that we pride ourselves on listening to what's being asked, and that's what we do. Let's finish up with, let's add a little bit of olive oil to it.
Another fun thing, just while Chef is mixing that up, one of the things that Sophia, she's a Siena grad, she's our marketing rep, and she's phenomenal, and she's helped get the word out for ABI this semester, all the new things that we're doing, the smoothies over here, the international fair that's at Lawnstrom every Wednesday. But one of the things that she's tried to concentrate on is how to eat in Saga Lawnstrom, right? So just because the chicken's at the grill and there could be salsa down on Clarity, you can learn how to mix and go to different stations and then maybe grab some pasta and put the chicken and salsa and kind of create something like this where you get your base, but you can continue to make whatever you want.
So what's the next step?
So I tried it, make sure it was good. I added a little more salt. I felt like we needed a little more salt. But now we're going to play it. So again, we can do the exact same dish with a broth and it'd be a soup. You know? Or we can do the same thing hot. You can make it and heat it up in a frying pan. And that way you go ahead and it's a hot dish aside.
Well, how's your favorite way to make this?
I like it cold. I mean,
okay.
I personally like it cold because it's nice and refreshing. Now, any time of the year to me, this is good. You know? Oops. So we're going to turn around. I'm going to put a little bit down. So this is, if you were doing a side, that would be that way, right? If you now want to add chicken to it, so I'm going to grab one of my chicken breasts that I just grilled. I'm going to put that on it. Now you have an extra protein and very clean dish because you made it yourself. There's nothing canned. The canned stuff on there. So black beans were cooked this morning. The can's the only thing that's out of season right now, but you know, everything that we get usually comes in fresh. And that's it. And you won't need anything else to go with it because everything is well balanced.
And then with all the different ingredients going on in the kitchen and just around it, how do you guys play for like dietary restrictions and allergies and stuff like that?
We are lucky enough to have a dietitian on campus, Kylie Job. So all the menus, after they're approved by chef, they go to the dietitian and they go through all of the allergens. Everything is marked and posted. So when the menus are all posted online, you can see, and the signs are done at each individual station, all the allergens are listed. So Kylie also meets with students all day. Whether it's dietary restrictions, if it's a sports, an athlete, if it's a health, there's all different reasons that students want to come and talk about their nutrition. So Kylie can sit and talk to them about wellness and what their bodies need to operate at efficiency based on all the different things that are happening today with kids.
And any student's able to get a customized meeting with the dietitian, right, to find out what they're looking for.
And the number one thing too, what we learned last year is that a lot of kids were under the impression there's no fee. Kylie, it is free. It is a service of food because, as Dan stated earlier, our number one responsibility is to serve safe food, and the students, especially, kids coming away from home for the very first time. They're getting used to a different environment. They're getting used to different people. They're getting used to different styles of cooking and oils and seasoning and all of those things that they may not be familiar with. And their bodies are then reacting. There's stress, there's fear, there's all of those things. And you would be surprised how food is, relative to that.
Yeah. And then I guess more of a slightly off topic question, but personally, what would you guys say are like your favorite events that AVI is able to do each year on campus? Or is there a particular one that stands out to you this year so far?
Chili cook-off was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun. And it's good to interaction because one of the things that we like to do, we do here at Masry, we do the Roots luncheon twice a semester, which is from farm to table, and our chef here, Charles, great chef, and we are lucky enough here at AVI to have the best chefs that we can possibly get for all that brings everybody something different to the table. So those type of things to us is exciting. When we're able to do the Valentine's Day dinner, we're able to do that. So I was like, everybody showed up dressed up, and when they actually had a great meal. Restaurant staff, and everybody said, "Oh, we do this happens, so we do this." We're able to do it, but locally we have quite a few chefs that contribute to the thing, to what we do here.
They can freestyle a little bit of a flex.
Yes.
So how does having chefs from all different cultures, all different backgrounds, how does that reflect in the food you guys make?
Authenticity, to make sure it's authentic. That's some things I might be strong at, and that others I might not be strong at. So some things I'll go to there and say, again, I've done a lot of this, but you have more knowledge of this one than I do. So why don't you walk me into this? And that's how we collaborate with each other. We learn something new every day. And so that's the good thing about cooking and food. You learn something new every day in this business, And we talk to the students, and students, they're not afraid to grab you in the dining hall and say, chef, I like this, or I didn't like that, and which is fine. And it's okay. We'll just this next time. Like, the biggest thing for me is safe food first, then good food, and it's Thai. You want to make sure that it's safe. That's the number one thing for us. To make sure that when you come to eat in the dining hall or any of the outlets, that you're getting something good, something that wasn't held under a counter somewhere. Everything is the way it's supposed to be.
And I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your days to speak with us today. And it was a pleasure just getting the chance to speak with you all. Appreciate it so much. Thank you. When we come back, we'll be back in the studio. Stick with us.
There are clubs for everyone here at Siena College. One club is taking the time to highlight Italian culture and heritage as they just kicked off the semester last week. Joe Lemery introduces us to the Italian Club on this week's edition of Join the Club.
If you're looking for an exciting new club on campus, Junior Louis Albertelli has you covered.
Italian Club, an organization for all things Italian. You like Italian food, you like Italian culture, come down to the Italian Club, Meetings are very simple, it's discussion-oriented, not really presentation-oriented. Look, we don't want you to feel like you're sitting in a class here at Siena. We want you to feel like you're sitting at your dinner table with your Nona.
Albertelli says this club was non-existent for a while. It wasn't until this past fall semester where that all changed.
The club started up at the beginning of the fall semester. We kind of took it over from the old regime and we kind of remodeled it. Actually, remodel is kind of a understatement. I'd have to say a bit of an overhaul. Modeling it more to be an Italian-American student union rather than just an Italian club. I mean, of course, we eat pizza, we eat subs, we eat whatever Italian food we get our hands on. But overall, I'd have to say it's gotten to a point where it's more of an Italian student organization at this point.
The Italian Club is a way for students to get together to indulge in delicious food and other fun activities.
We have meetings as often as we can. We advertise all our meetings very heavily on the Instagram page. Just when you see that, come on down. It's also on States Connect, just in case you need it there. No need to RSVP. Just show up, walk in the door, grab some food, sit down. We'll take note while you're there. Our secretary is very good at doing it.
Albertelli wants this club to continue to grow, not just for Italians, but for everyone. For SCTV's Morning Brew, I'm Joe Lemry.
This week's Kirkus Student of the Week has been announced. The latest recipient is Madison Tinker, a senior history major who has a lot more to bring to the table than the everyday aspiring historian. Our Ethan Smith has more on the story.
I'm a senior history major with a minor in Spanish and certificate of public history.
Now that's what you call a star student. Meet Madison Tinker, a Massachusetts native and a history wizard. Madison took the time to research government records from the American Revolution found in the New York State Archives.
As a summer scholar, I worked under Dr. Dorsey, who's one of the history professors here. We worked in collaboration with the New York State Archives to prepare an upcoming inventory of their Revolutionary era records. So what our job was to select specific records from the Revolutionary era and prepare little annotations about them to kind of attract researchers to those specific documents that maybe haven't been examined in the past or new information about them has surfaced that changes the way that we examine them.
Madison loves this concept of archival work, especially the preservation of artifacts.
Preservation in specific is what I like about working in archives, but also just being able to handle historic documents is kind of like you're touching a piece of history. So I applied to graduate school for information science, which is teaching you how information is stored in archives, libraries, records management, that sort of thing. So this kind of gave me an opportunity to learn a little bit more about that firsthand.
Now I got a chance to ask Madison what piece of history she would like to collect the most. Her answer is for sure one for the books.
In Revolutionary France, there was their document that they wrote called the Declaration of the Rights of Man. And a woman actually came out and wrote a version of it for women called the Declaration of Rights of Women, and I wrote a paper about that freshman year, so I think that would be really cool.
Congratulations to Madison on being awarded Kirkus Student of the Week. We know you'll do great things. Reporting for the Morning Brew, I'm Ethan Smith.
Welcome back to What's Fizzin'. Let's take a look at what people are fizzing about this week. Starting off with a banger here, please stop calling people in the shower. It's so weird. I don't want to hear about your ops while I'm washing my you-know-where. That used to happen a lot back in freshman year. People would just be on FaceTime just in the shower or like on the phone, and you'd kind of just be there with your speaker and be like, really wish I could be playing my speaker right now. Next one here, we've got, I just drove to school with my windows down and I felt my seasonal depression leaving my body. Totally felt that this week. It was super nice out and yeah, not a worry in the world. Still trying to get to my car because it's still on an ice parking spot, but we'll get there eventually. Next one, midterms on a Monday should be illegal, followed by a quote fizz saying midterms the week after spring break should be illegal. I agree with both of these statements. Also, imagine taking a class that has a midterm. Next one here is ban men from wearing skinny jeans. Although I don't think it's fair to ban someone from wearing a specific article of clothing, I am team anti-jeans. Never liked jeans, not comfortable, don't think they look great. Next one here we've got is I'm on my way to open my window at night and turn all the fans on, and it's Elsa. Could not be more real of a statement. I wake up every morning with my room feeling like a freezer because I have my window fan on full blast. Next one here was a 24/7 C-store would go hard. I'll petition that I would work it in the middle of the night if I could have access to this because that is so needed. Next one here is the potholes behind McCluskey could actually kill my car. The current situation back there is unspeakable. It's basically a minefield, and I pray that my tire pressure monitor just has an issue and all my tires aren't actually flat, because that's what it seems like right now. Next one here is, this morning brew show in Casey's is sick. A professor got arrested, ? I wonder who wrote that. You're probably watching this right now in Casey's. Spoiler alert, you're watching the show. All right, next one here is, when the establishment has a single stall bathroom. Yeah. Next is, nothing tests your intelligence like trying to use a printer you've never used before. They should be giving out permanent degrees for people who know how to operate printers here, because I'm going on 4 years and I still don't know how to work one, and maybe I need a 5th year so I can figure it out. And finally, something about salt. You know, if I could see it. Now we know why no salt was used this year. The whole budget went towards getting Al Roker to speak at graduation. Yeah, still waiting on that salt. Had to buy some for my house because they never did anything about it at the townhouses. And yeah, we got Al Roker because we got connections like that. That's kind of just the whole Siena thing. That was this week's edition of What's Fizzin'. Once again, we've somehow made it 3 weeks through this, and this is still going on. So let's see if this happens again next week. And when we come back, learn more about events happening the week we return from break.
Before we leave for spring break, let's take a look at some events to look forward to when we come back.
Habitat for Humanity is hosting a Mr. Siena button sale on Monday. This will be during free period in the SSU. Make sure to show up and support a good cause.
See Hey Lexi is hosting an alcohol pouring event in Snyder Hall at 6:30 on Tuesday. There you can see how well you actually know your alcohol pouring. And along with that, there will be a raffle with a chance to win some Siena swag.
The Damietta Cross Cultural Center is partnering with the Creative Arts Department for a forum on Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the Great Maloney Room. The forum will be based around proactive allyship and will allow students to practice navigating challenging and uncomfortable scenarios with confidence.
After break, SCTV's first broadcast will be airing live in Casey's at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. The whole show is produced by students. Stop by, grab a bite to eat, and support your fellow Saints.
To get in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, the International Student Association is hosting St. Patrick's Day Bingo. Make sure you show up to Rossetti Hall on Thursday at 6:30 for a chance to win some awesome prizes.
The Astronomy Club is hosting an observation night at Siena's Brew Observatory on Thursday night at 8 p.m. So whether you love astronomy or couldn't point the Earth out in the solar system, the event is still fun for all. It is cold outside, so if you do go, make sure you dress warm. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us.
Make sure to subscribe to the Siena College Communications Program YouTube page and follow the SCTV Instagram page at sienacollege.tv. We'll see you after break.